Hello, everyone. Welcome to another Green Dragons Gaming Club. Without us, they'd never feel like winners. Without them, we could look so good. So, again, we're based out of Westchester, Pennsylvania. We'll play up at our local gaming store called Games Keep or in our basements, but we definitely want to try to turn around. I'm here in the United States. We want to build up our gaming community, so if you are doing the whole basement thing, my recommendation is to start playing in the local gaming store because that's really how you're going to start getting new local players, regardless of ages and things like that. So that's what we're trying to do. Even though we're still strong and faithful, it's just we want newer members. Um, so with that said, this is probably going to be my last battle report for 1.3. We have 2.0 dropping. I'm about ready to do 1 2.0 battle report. I already did the three-way game, and I'm going to have another. We actually have a conversation that's been already recorded that we're just waiting for permission to turn around and drop, discussing 2.0. And the only thing I want to say regarding 2.0 in this video is that, look, no matter what we're putting out, being the ninth age, because I'm head of playtesting, it's better than what that evil company has done, and where we actually have voices. The community can actually say, "Hey, we don't like this," or "We want this changed." Whether or not it gets changed, it's like we still have that voice. There could be rationale as to why it's not changed, but we have a voice. And compared to, I'm an old Bretonian player, and that was over 10 years for that book to get a change or an update or anything. And if anything else, I mean, that just says right there the fact that for what I've seen, attempts of trying to work with the Kingdom of Equitane, it makes me happy. It makes me feel good to be part of the project. So I want to make sure that I say that. And at the same time, it's like, people who've seen my posts online, I don't always agree with things that they're doing with, say, Dwarven holds. At the same time, doesn't mean it's bad. It just means I disagree. Um, with nothing else, we're going to get onto this battle report. So here we have the Dread Elves versus Dwarven Hold. So this is my buddy Chris McDonald versus myself, and it's 4,500 points. It's our last version of 1.3, and it's a good game. That's all I can say. It's a fun game. Both he and I moved. Both he and I are the hosts for our gaming group. Although I'm much stronger so far with Ninth Age stuff because of things that I've been doing. And but awesome, awesome guy. Can't say enough about him. So here's the board that we're playing. And as you can see, is I don't have our army list because honestly, at this point in time, it's not going to make a difference. I mean, 1.3 is ending; it's all going to be coming 2.0, unless things change drastically. So I'll just go with that as things happen for this report. So this is I got first turn. We had, was it counter thrust? May have had counter thrust. Yeah, it was definitely counter thrust deployment style, and it was breakthrough scenario. So I vanguarded my unit on the right flank, and I've got my junior protecting my war machines. I've got my handgunners, my big block of spears with my BSB, my deep watch with my king on Runic Smith. It's the same list I've played. Meanwhile, he's got I think he's playing that as a Hydra this game. It's either a Hydra or a Kraken, I forget which. His general is the Chariot. And he's got the acolytes. He's got some harpies in there. He's got the bolt throwers. He's got a unit of tower guard, a unit of executioners, and dread legionnaires. I think that's basically it. Oh, and so, and then this is after I forgot to put my scouts on the board. So I scouted into the field and moved up, and that's how things look. So again, this is this one unpainted unit, and I was able to turn around and during the shooting phase put 2 wounds. I mean, magic, nothing happened to magic. I mean, it's Dwarven Holds. I don't have an anvil, and so I have no offensive magic, and he just didn't care. So again, right there, I was able to put 2 wounds from the Rangers, put 1 wound onto the Kraken or Hydra, whichever one that may be, and I turn around and knock that guy down to 1 wound using an organ gun. So that's how board looks. It's now his turn 1. He was able to kill 1 guy there, killed a couple of spears. Now, he charged with his Kraken or Hydra, whichever it may be. I'm like, okay, sure, not a problem. I'll take it. Nope, don't even have the chance. They turn around. I failed like leadership. I rolled like boxcars, I want to say. And I only ran 6 inches, so he had a chance to catch me, but he failed to do so. So this is how the board looks at this point in time. Yep, and that's it. So here, so now it's Dwarven Hole's turn 2. I made a couple long bomb charges. I charged his either his executioners or I think those were his tower guard. So I charged his tower guard with both my deep watch and the spears, knowing I would only get 1, but I wanted to try to get one of those units in, and I needed a 10 on both charges. So I'm like, all right, odds are one of the 2 units should get in. I should be able to win that combat because I had hatred, and I would start throwing buff spells and stuff like that. It's a one-on-one. I like my odds. I like my chances there. And needless to say, that's how things looked. During the magic phase, I was able to get up Gleaming and Resilience, so it's -1 to hit and -1 to wound. And I lied, those are actually, he only has Execution, he does not have the Tower Guard. Those are just Legionnaires. So I had those 2 buffs up, and it's obviously, it's stacked in my favor heavily. I was able to turn around and destroy the Kraken or Hydra, whichever it may be, during my shooting phase. Because of that, that unit turned around, broke and fled, fleeing, I believe, from the closest enemy. I'm trying to remember why it fled that way. Over here during that combat, let's just say it did not go pretty. I think he was down to like 1 or 2 models. That was it, and I didn't take anything for my troubles. So they ran, and I'm now there. Meanwhile, that entire flank is now fleeing from that. So here it's his turn. If you notice, my spears aren't there. I did something silly. I chose to flee with my spears, and I figured if I rolled average, I'd get away, without any issues. Unfortunately, I did not roll average, and he rolled above average, and he caught them and destroyed my spears. Oh well, live and learn. Worst things have happened. So here's how the board now looks, and we're still, let's see. I don't know why that's a 2 all the way over there. So over here during his magic phase, he turns around, he gets off some spell, kills 6 of them, but they hold steady there. Kills a couple of dwarves with great weapons. Kills another one via shooting, but they're not going anywhere. And yep, that is basically, yeah, that's how the board looks. Rangers turn around, they rally. So now it's Dwarven Hole's turn 3. Turn around, just taking pop shots with my handgunners. I'm trying to remember why. I think I was rolling really poorly. That's the only reason why his general on the and he was making his ward saves too. Why his general is still alive on that chariot, as it definitely had target written on it. Over here, the executioners, they turn around, they rally. Meanwhile, I've got the Rangers into the War Machine. And No, that was during shooting. Got them down to 4. He did great with his leadership saves. So he turns around. I got them down to 3. They stick. Kill that war machine. And I am all set up for charges. Charges, counter charges. Granted, I lost my spears with my BSB, so that's a huge blow to me. But I still have my deep watch. I still have my organ guns. I'm not as concerned. Meanwhile, it's breakthrough scenario, so obviously having my deep watch, the unit up in the upper right-hand corner that vanguarded to claim that objective, okay, and then allowing the rest of my army to now take care of what he has left on the board. So during his turn, again, he's just dancing with me. So there's he kills another couple of them, kills one of them because we're doing a Mexican standoff there, and kills another ranger. I don't remember how. Try to remember. Oh, so apparently I had charged, or either he had charged Junior or I had charged Junior, and the reason why, yeah, because I had him chaffed up with Junior there, and he didn't want to. He wanted to turn around and blow up the great weapon guys. However, he chose not to try to overrun. I think as we sat there with the laser, he was not hitting them, but also that would have then in my turn given me the rear of the flank of that unit, and he really didn't want the deep watch going into them and them being stuck the way they were. Now over here he had. So let me go back a few picks. I'm so sorry. So bottom of the screen in the forest, it's hard to see, but he charged my organ gun with 3 harpies. Like, all right, I don't care. It's a harpies versus my organ gun. What are you gonna do? I'm stubborn. I'm leadership 9, and I still have 3 attacks. I'm not expecting anything. He actually turned around and he won that combat. So why are they going the wrong way? So then he turns around and he overruns. One thing I think we forgot to do because he's flying is I think we were forgetting for him to take his dangerous terrain test with his harpies there. So again, there weren't quite as many as there were. And so he positioned his unit. So this is now my turn. So there's that killing my war machine. So now it's my turn. As you can see, the big unit on the upper left, I turn around, I got that charge in. The reason why it is the way it is he didn't want the deep watch getting in the flank. He wanted all his attacks with the deep watch going in the front so he can maximize his attacks to try to get those, to negate my armor, get those killing blow not killing blow, lethal strikes, have a chance to try to kill my runic smith, have a chance to try to kill my king. So I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. That's it. To me, that was a smart move. He knew that unit was doomed. I didn't charge him with the Rangers because I didn't want to give him some extra easy combat res. Now, during my turn, I was able to get off -1 to hit, which is not good for him because he doesn't have the +1 because he's using great weapons. So now he's already hitting on 4s with that unit. Now he's hitting on 5s with that unit. And I have hatred on strength 5, AP1, great weapons in the flank. So we're going to wait and see. During the shooting phase, I killed another harpy over there. I forget how I did it. That unit has throwing weapons, which they just never used. But I was able to turn around and finally take out that one pesky little guy running around because he failed his ward save or whatever. And over here, all but 3. So again, I think I chose to have the great weapon guys. Oh no, I killed the unit to the man. In retrospect, I probably should have had the, yeah, absolutely, I should have. I should have had the great weapon warriors overrun because right now they're easy to get shot at right okay, because they're one of my scoring units that I have left in his deployment zone. As I said, we're playing breakthrough. So now he's trying to press the advantage. He's trying to get his scoring units up into my deployment zone. So let's see. Now throughout this game, I'm helping my opponent because, as I said earlier, I am a stronger player than he is in terms of ninth age, in terms of tactics. So when I look at this screen, what would you do? I'm going to pause for a second and say, what would you do if, as him? All right, it's my turn. So he moved up as much as he could. What would you do during my turn? So what he ends up doing, oh, he was able to put one wound on my engineer. Over here, I think he failed his charge, which is why they're sitting there in the wind. So he turned around, he shot my rangers off the board, and that's it. I turned around and plucked off another Deep Watch, which I don't care. He's not going to get anything worthwhile from them. Over here, he's down to one model holding up my holding me up, and that's that. Now I don't want to necessarily put my handgunners into the flank of his chariot because I'll be stuck in that water, and because I'm stuck in that water, I'm not going to get my ranks. And without ranks being steadfast, it's very easy for his general on a chariot to just make mincemeat of my unit. It's something I don't want. So, a couple mistakes on my part. I think it was a far charge, but I should have charged the Deep Watch into his spears with his mage, which then would have put them right in front of the handgunners, and then charged with the handgunners, and then charged with the engineer, which would have bounced him back there. I didn't want to turn around. I didn't want to do that. So the reason why is a friendly game. It was absolutely a friendly game. So I just charged with the handgunners because it's a nice juicy flank. And he turned around and he fled, which is the right thing to do. And actually, I advised him to do that. At first, he's like, "Oh no, I'll turn around and take it." I'm like, no, if you flee, you rally, and then you have another 2 turns, 1 or 2 turns to get into my deployment zone. Okay, do that. That's the smart play, is because we're doing breakthrough, and this way, if nothing else, we're going to tie because chances are you're going to shoot one of my units off the board. So again, so there's that. He turns around, he charges my flank. Oh, Junior went in and made mincemeat out of the harpies. Charges my flank with his general. Okay, smart play. Who cares? It's odds are rolling a 1. May take 1, 2 wounds, 3 wounds tops. He's got a ward save and stuff like that. And that's it. He rallies his troops. He's staring at my engineer. During magic or shooting, he kills my engineer, and he was not. So right now I have 2 units in his deployment zone. One's hidden by the hill, and he's hoping, okay, to be able to kill one of those units and keep his other unit there. So I've got Junior into the flank of his general. It's the last turn. My King's unit wasn't able to make that charge, which would have been great had they been able to. That's that. He would turn around and put 1 wound there. He was able to turn around and shoot off that unit. And because of me advising him through the game as to how to maneuver his troops and what better to do, I mean, this was a good game. He ends up killing Junior there, even with -2 to hit and stuff like that. So he was just able to just sneak it out. Ends up being a 10-10 draw. This was a great game. It was a fun game to play. I know I blew through those battle reports. We played this game about 2 weeks ago. So like some things are not 100% in my memory, but just flipping through, just looking at the board, and how he I had definitely had some bad dice rolls. So did he. Um, it's still a game of maneuvering. And when 2.0 drops, you're going to feel it's still going to be the same thing. So that's it. Any questions, concerns, comments, please feel free to go ahead and post. And until next time, happy gaming.